お前さ、オールブルって知ってるか?
Agenda piece, power scale piece, lore piece. Ultimately speaking, all these are just sides of the same three-sided coin. And yes, those are real. This chapter hits so many different notes. It's insane. It's absurd. The agenda piece guys are going crazy, where all of a sudden, Scopper Gabon is confirmed in this chapter. You know why? Because Scopper Gabon is in the panel where the one, it seems like a Native American sort of theme. Well, the one girl says, son, go back inside. The guy that's him on the panel, that is Scopper Gabon. Whoa. And guess what? He's near a campfire, marked by flames. The man marked by flames. The one that Ace beat a long time ago. Former warlord of the sea. Whoa. The agendas are running wild. The power scale. There were a lot of cats yapping about how damn good the elders were. And oh my god, look at the Feng Shi, look at Wakuri. He has better defense than Kaido in base form. Whoa! And then this chapter, one bladel, one kick, one beam from Sanji. Oh man, nah man, they're just ass though, they're trash, yo. Admirals clear them every damn day easy. Well. Did I see Soul King Brook cut off a leg from Saturn? Did I see Chopper in puffy, fluffy form just block a Saturn attack? And don't those things have venom that just erode with things on impact? Is Chopper venom proof? I hope not, because I want him to die. Power scale for certain forces, you can argue, is now once again shifting in the other direction. And for my main man, Sanji, my second favorite character in the story. Oh yeah, that was in base, all about that base, all about that base, baby, yes. But there is no agenda right now, obviously, more important than the lore piece. And make no mistake, the lore piece is also part of the overall agenda. It's all encompassing. When folks have their, let's say, videos out there, like myself, other cats, it's because that's how you ultimately view how the story can play out based on your interpretation of said story. If it played out completely differently, you'd be not necessarily upset, but you're like, it's not what I really wanted, since I had a theory going in the opposite direction. I remember this happened a lot with the resin piece, where people said Luffy was gonna attain resin abilities. And then there was me. No, he's gonna gigantify. But that's not important. Not important. This chapter does drop nonetheless very important details, super important details about the world to come. In the final saga of the story, we have the revelation that the world is going to sink. Now, that could, let's say, be interpreted in two different ways. We have one, the sea levels rising, similar to the events of the Lulusia Kingdom, where 6 days after it was wiped out, in chapter 1089, it was revealed that the water levels rose all across the planet by 1 meter. That's 3.3 feet, essentially. So it rose by 1 meter all across the world. And we saw how chaotic and how pandemonious it was across the entire planet for just 1 meter. But at the same time, other folks say, no, it's the reverse, where the water levels don't necessarily matter the most. The land itself is submerging into the depths of the ocean, which is a very interesting take, for damn sure. So the lore piece I'm going to tackle right now, because what Vegapunk said, I think is just the first step of something far, far larger that is happening in the future, but happened also in the past. And I think it's going to be quintessential moving forward, for sure, in the final song of the story. But before I get to all this good stuff, let's get to some other stuff, which involves a brief word from today's sponsor. And today's sponsor is none other than the Surfshark VPN. Oh! You see, the World Wide Web absolutely is a very dangerous place. One false step, one wrong move, and you will find out that your week, your month, your year could be completely ruined. And that's why, for my fellow weebs out there across the world, I know that we explore some very interesting locations and some very interesting places on the web.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to...
But you need protection, you need safety, and Surfshark VPN absolutely has your back with dope features like the clean web feature that clears up any malware, any viruses, any bad actors that may try and ruin your day. I am a big dude.
Duh.
And part of the reason why is because of them sweet, delicious cookies. Absolutely. But I hate them. I detest them online. So Surfshark VPN is my online dietitian as well. And it's my dietitian everywhere. My desktop, my laptop, my phone, wherever I am, I can have Surfshark VPN protecting me, making sure I am secure, safe, and sound. Furthermore, if you want access, let's say any region-gated content, let's say on Netflix, let's say on Hulu, and even my own channel, since I do have region-gated content.
What did he say?
And you want to gain access to this region-gated content, then you can easily do so by changing the location that you are located in with Surfshark VPN, and with the click of a button, that region-locked content has now been unlocked. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, go in the description box down below. You use code KOL, that is KOL, to get an exclusive offer and 3 months free. Once again, use code KOL, and now let's get back into the video. Our world is going to sink into the ocean. That is what VEGAPUNK says. Next chapter, first panel. Finally, woo! Finally, Arlong has been waiting for this for a long time. When the world is covered in water, Waterworld, the old school movie, and fishmen reign supreme because the lesser humans can't even swim and they're in a world of water. Shameful, disgusting. The flying ones hide on your clouds because the actual planet itself is fishman territory.
That's right.
This to me is just the first step, because why is the world sinking in the first place? I think it's way more important. I have a video coming out on Monday. It's a robust, so check it out. It's a robust, long, 45-minute video breaking down a lot of the mysteries of the world, and I could tie to certain aspects of the world we found out recently in this arc, and also why, because I do mention the flooding stuff in that video. Already recorded, I already did it, but again, it's such a long video, it's taking time to edit that video. And shout out to my editor for doing that. The flooding is not a large part of that video. I think it is a necessary byproduct of the much more important things to come. To me, what's been very, very like quintessential, important about a lot of how the world of the One Piece story is shaped is the red line. The red line, I think, is just something you just can't, it's impossible to ignore. I would say the quintessential reason why the world is sinking is because of the red line. That is my own lore piece theory, but again, video's coming out on Monday. It's gonna be I'll give it some extravagant, over-the-top title, and then we'll just let things roll. Can I be wrong? Of course, absolutely. I could be wrong next week or week after. Fair enough, but I'm gonna drop it because I think that this is very possible given all of the factors, given all things that we've seen so far in the story be explained. And in this arc, in the final saga, there have been so many important things about the overabundant energy across the entire planet, the undying flame, the ability to make a star, anti-gravity tech, and so on and so forth. There's just so much to get to. So much to get to, and then 15 minutes is nowhere near enough. But this flooding across the entire globe, the thing that sticks out the most is what happened in the past, because we know that things like Noah exist, where Noah was the ark that was made to ferry and transport large groups of people and creatures for God knows how long in a world that was probably submerged, at least mostly submerged in water. There are things like Tequila Wolf, where this bridge is an absolutely massive Titanic bridge, not just in length, but in height. It's a huge bridge. And you have to wonder, hold on, why is the bridge so damn tall? Why did the WG make it that tall in the first place? Because this bridge will not be getting the Baltimore treatment. Marine ships are nowhere even close to this thing's size. It's insane how tall it is. Then, of course, you have Zunisha, you have the walls of Wano country, and to me, in a general sense, it kind of harkens back to what happened with Iceberg in Water 7, where in Water 7, remember, we had these Aqua Laguna humongous tidal waves. And Water 7 years ago, when Frankie was a kid, decades ago, there was actual land, way more land surrounding the entire island. But over the course of the decades and more of these aqua lagunas, more and more of it got submerged underwater. So this man, Iceberg, ahead of his time, said, I want to make the entire island into a ship, similar to Noah in some sense, similar to maybe even Pluton in some sense, maybe, where we want to be able to survive the oncoming floods, these maybe even global, imagine that, global aqua lagunas is a scary thought, extremely scary thought. And now folks pointing at Rayleigh and the coding, folks are pointing at, let's say, Shanks and his crew, and why there, as far as we know, there are no power users. Obviously, why the celestial dragons, why they live on this super elevated place, the red line. Yeah, a lot of these things can clearly tie to an era at some point in the past, maybe let's say an entire century, the Void Century, where water levels were extremely elevated and environments, creatures, people, technology in some ways needed to adapt to the extreme elevation of water all across the planet. So again, this does make a lot of sense, and I think it is very, very likely, but it's only step one. In my book, as crazy as it sounds, and maybe I'm going too far, I'll admit that, I could be going too far, but in my book, it's just the first step of a much, 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 much crazier situation going on during Joy Boy's era. Because even though, let's say at one point in time, the waters were much lower, and therefore there was more land available, to me, it had to be nuttier, it had to be crazier, it had to be zanier, all out of this world, no pun intended. Because the world I envisioned Gold D. Roger talk about when he saw the One Piece treasure in the Odin flashback in chapter 967, he who has seen some of the most craziest people, who has done the craziest things, who have been to the most nuttiest locations, this man Gold D. Roger said, Joy Boy, I wish I was born in your time. The water levels being lower, just nah. That, in my mind, will not suffice. It could be the case that's the case. And then things were pretty cool back then too. And yeah, fair enough. But no, in my mind, that will not suffice. I need more. And my theory video, you'll see on Monday, it goes literally out of this world. And if you enjoy that video when it comes on Monday, then do you do now for this video, which is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join the notification squad. But no, I'm not done yet. You see, just how Caesar Clown and Judge had their own agenda for Neo-Mads to try and take down Vegapunk, and their agenda, their intentions were devastated. What? No, impossible. There's no way you can be dead, Vegapunk. We made Neo-Mads to be you. The same way when the One Piece live action gets to this moment, they are going to make sure that Mary is still dead because they killed him in the live action. I will not skimp at all on what happened with Sanji and Ethan. Sanji and Ethan. Not Zoro and Ethan. Sanji and Ethan. I said it was possible last chapter video I did, where Sanji was en route and he and Ethan could have had something going on, and or it could involve Kuma, where Kuma could have gone through another resurgence moment and then try and defend Bonnie from near death. But it was Sanji who came in. It was Sanji that not only made Ethan cough up blood, but a tooth. It seems to be a tooth was in the blood mist. I don't see the power of love. I don't see the germ powers at all. This is base.
Sensational.
When I think about the elders, yeah, they are nasty, for sure. I'm not gonna deny, yeah, Sanji did get that horse knob, and there were a crunch and so on. But if this is base form Sanji, I'm not worried, because once he goes swirls on, activate regen factor. Is it like Wolverine regen factor? Probably not. But a few broken ribs, we know the deal's there. Maybe he's knocked out, possible, not too sure. But at the end of the damn day, that was very impressive. At some point, Marcus Mars trying to sense all the life forms in the lab, and he can't sense anything involving a Denden Mushi. And by the way, Punk Records is, wow. It's almost eerie. I don't know if he's actually dead per se. He could still be dead. It's hard to say. Even Marcus Mars is kind of confused. Like, is he, Vegapunk, actually dead now? Based on film rate, he could be like the size of an admiral. He, I think, maybe is like a few times taller than Rob Lucci. But bro, he looks very small compared to the tank of Punk Records. It's gotta be maybe twice the size of a giant. That's what I think. Because it's huge, it's very impressive. Pause. And Bonnie coming up with her own giant future, also very interesting too. She didn't go full on Nika like many folks thought she would. She didn't go gum and stretch her body around like Luffy. She became a giant of the same stature as someone like Oimo and Kashi. So I am very impressed that she can do a giant-ish future, but also I am grateful that we're not seeing her do the stretching crazy, mimicking the gum fruit or the Nika ability fruit full on, because I am not on that train. I am still not a believer of the Bonnie verse of madness. Ethan is on the back against Oimo and Kashim lost to the Frankie family. They lost to the Frankie family. And Bonnie is impressive in her own respects. True, would folks have her up there, let's say, among the highest of the Supernova in terms of power? Would she be up there with, let's say, Killer, Zoro, Kid, Law?
Oh, no.
But yet, this 3v1 against Ethan, it should play some degree of success, for sure. The same thing going for the Straw Hats against Saturn. I was surprised to see Saturn's intentions in this chapter, where Marcus wants to destroy the lab. Saturn says no, because the explosion of the flame will destroy everything in the area. And even though the message is coming out, we can't risk destroying not only the power plant, but the person that's getting Mother Flame's York. We just can't do it. Interesting, Saturn. Even if the world finds out the truth, as long as we have Mother Flame and York, we can make do. And all in all, I think it was pretty obvious that the Denden Mushi in the Punk Records was not the actual Denden Mushi. There was another play at hand here, because we knew for a fact early on this arc that there was going to be a moment that was going to stun, shock the world. And I do wonder that Vegapunk does say to the people, do not cast judgment on those that have taken me out. And I think most folks will assume across the planet it was the Stryad crew, because there was news about them being the ones to capture Vegapunk. But he also mentions him, and I quote, "I do not intend to discuss right and wrong here. I am not qualified to judge such things, and I do not know nearly enough about him in any case." And that's when you have, of course, Saturn, Vegapunk! Shh. This could be an Emu play here. Emu is for sure, without a doubt, a prime time person to be the final villain of the story. Will they actually be? Not too sure. And the idea of Waterworld, the old school 1990s movie, being in play does, in some ways, give more onus to Emu truly being the one. The chapter is, I would say, it's a good chapter, mainly because of the end of the chapter, where it's too important to ignore what's gonna happen to the entire planet with that one major drop. But at the same time, you could argue the chapter is like a 6 out of 10, really, because we do spend a lot of time needlessly in various locations. But let me know your stance on this chapter. Once again, rate the video, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side.
See you. Bye bye.